don't know me, I'm somewhat the historical archivist here at St. Paul Stevensville, as well as for St. Matthew's and partially for St. Paul Sodus. The title of our presentation today, which you are going to give, not me, is The Old White School and the 1951 Brick School. My aim is this. My aim is to gather and archive for posterity memories of those two old schools of St. Paul's for the sake of those in the future. And it's best if it comes from those who attended the school. So what I'm going to do, and we thank our videographer, Augie Steinke. Now you'll recognize the Steinke name as a St. Matthew's and Sodus name, but Augie is a member here at St. Paul Stevensville. What he's going to do is capture shy Lutherans talking and appearing on the video. I have a microphone right here, which I experimented with. And for instance, when I ask Donna a question or Donna's got a response, I'm going to say your name so that on the video, your name will come through and everybody will know who's explaining what. Because even though I'm the one who usually teaches around here, I'm not teaching today. You are doing the teaching. I'm just the facilitator. Okay? So write that down. Yes.
Question. I started here in first grade in 47, so I was here 8 years. That would put it at 55, but I wasn't in the brick school.
Then just put old. Don't put brick. Don't put brick. Just old one.
We're in the old school. Yeah.
The old white school.
Old white school.
Okay?
Didn't know all that.
Okay. What we have, and I want to refresh your memories, what we have is a picture of our church and parsonage, and you see above that horse carriage, that's what I call the old white school. Okay? Here's another picture up at the top from Hickory Creek looking up the hill at the old white school. You recognize that building? Up in the upper right, there again, the old white school from John Beers looking up. Here, the old white school from the bottom of the hill, notice the playground looking up. This must be the old white school from the church looking to the entrance. Okay? Good. And then this is the new brick school. The new brick school. I never experienced the new brick school. The reason is I didn't attend here till 1961, and it was the new school. Here's some of the things I'm going to ask of you. What years did you attend which school? You'll have that on your name tags, and I'll collect those name tags at the end. And then, when was the township hall used for classes? Did you attend the township hall classes? And then the floor plan, I want to know a little bit about the layout of the school, the rooms, bathrooms, and then the facilities. What kind of facilities did you have there? Did you have heat? Did you have coal? Did you have wood, electric? And then what were the desks like? How about the playground? I want to learn a little bit about the teachers that you had. Were there any accidents or injuries you remember? One example, I remember I was probably in about 4th grade and one of the Patzer boys fell off the monkey bars and broke his arm. Why do I remember that? I don't know. But because I remember it, I could pass it along to history. Steve Patzer. The conditions in the winter, what was it like? In the summer, the hot months, what was it like? And then we are the first Lutheran school in our entire synod ever to have an elementary school bus. I want to ask you about the school bus.
Yeah, I got some pictures.
And then how about sports with other schools? I want to ask you about any best friends that you might have had. What were their nicknames? That's an interesting thing. And then lastly, I'm going to ask you if you have any pictures that you could share with me that I could scan and give you the pictures back, and I could do it here at church. I don't have to take them home, so that I could collect a pictorial archive. So let's begin. We're going to begin with this picture here again. Church about 1905, parsonage, and there's the old school. This is the old school from up the hill. Remember that? This is the from John Beers. There's the sign. That's from the bottom of the hill. This is from the church looking at the back. Here's a picture. We're going to go through this a little later. Do you recognize any students? What year was this? Here's some students, I think, in the township hall. We'll talk about that.
What years that was, do you know?
That's what I'm going to ask you in just a minute. There's, I think that's in the brick school.
No, that's in the township hall.
That's in the township hall?
That's me sitting right there.
Right there in
Okay,
front.
we're going to get to that. And then
Bob Martin.
here's some good-looking fellas, huh?
Bob here?
And then here's our school bus. And here's the new brick school.
Yeah, remember that.
There's the brick school. And then there's a picture just before, apparently. Oh, there's the students in the church. Here's the new school. That's after 1961. And then, of course, this is where I went to school. The old brick school is right here. They took that brick school and expanded it both ways. Okay, now, I'm going to ask you, and what
Back to that again, okay.
that's what we want. Now I'm going to ask you, do you remember anything about the pictures I've shown? And I'll show you the pictures. Which picture? And this is,
The one where you said they extended it.
and we're talking to Joyce Ott, married into the Zilke family. You attended the old white school from 46 to 52, and the brick school from 53 to 54. Now, which picture? Which picture?
Not that one. No. I must not have been looking at all that. What happened? Oh, okay, now, when they added on the new part. I went to school in that part.
You went to school in that part?
Yes.
Okay. Later, they added classrooms this way, and then the gymnasium this way. That was later. But you went to school at that.
1 year.
Okay, let's go back to, for our purposes today, I'm going to go right up and down the aisle. What do you remember, Oscar? And you went to the old school in 1947. What do you remember about that building? Anything?
Nothing particular, no.
Do you,
Well,
The basement.
you used to have to go up to the pastor's house and get the milk to bring back for lunch for the kids. The milkman would leave it up to Pastor Sinks on the porch, and we had to go get it and bring it to the school.
that's interesting. Did you bring your own lunches from home?
Yeah.
Okay. So no kitchen facilities in there?
No.
No?
No, not at all.
Okay. I'm going to come back to you if you remember anything else, okay? Ruth Crow went to the old school, 43 to 51, and that was grades 1 to 8. Any memories you have about the old white school?
all I remember is, well, you said the bell ringing for recess and for coming to school, the old bell, yeah. Like recess, when we had to come back in, they'd ring the bell. They didn't have I don't know if they had a janitor or not, because I swept the big room.
Yeah, we had to, yeah.
Really? Janitor?
Yeah, we cleaned them.
I swept the big
Now,
room
when
for
she
two
said that, we
or
cleaned
3
the
years,
school
for 20 cents
We
every
cleaned the
night.
schoolrooms.
And they would pay me at
I
Christmas
mean,
and at the end of the
interns or
year.
you were
I'd get this
assigned.
big check,
Uh,
20 cents a night,
20 cents a night to clean the school.
Oh, really?
just the big
I
room.
would've got
The big
paid.
room.
Just the big room. I don't know what the other ones.
Okay, let me ask you, where the big room was and the little room was.
Mrs. Human was towards John Deere's and Mr. Human was in the other part.
So Mr. Human was here? Is that the big room?
Yes.
And then over here, you called that the small room,
Right, Mrs. Human.
and she had the lower grades? The lower grade, okay. If you remember anything else, I'm gonna come back to you and ask you to raise your hand. And this is Judy Mahalik, now a Schmidt, yeah?
Okay.
And you went to the old school in 55 through 62, the brick school from 1960 to 62. Oh, and you also went
I
to,
got to go to the new school in 7th grade, yeah.
yeah,
I think those dates are right.
you and I went to school together because I started there in 1961.
Okay.
You don't remember me. Okay, what do you remember about the white school?
Okay, I remember that there was a big furnace in the basement, but there was shuffleboards too. Remember the shuffleboards?
Yep.
And we had to go down into the basement to use the bathroom. And I don't know about the boys' bathroom, but the girls' bathroom only had one stall that had a door. So it had two toilets, and the one toilet was out in the open. Remember that? And when Mrs. Human came
I don't
down,
remember that.
she always got the one with the door, of course. But the rest of us, if the one that was open to everybody, if that was your turn, that's the toilet you used.
That's the toilet you got. Now, do you remember you said the heater, it was a furnace, was it coal, was it wood, was it gas?
It was coal.
That was
It
cold.
was coal.
But
I
Alvin
remember
remembered
that. It dumped in a big thing
Yeah.
and it went down into the
That's how they have
into
to
the
put it down in.
basement of the school and it went in and stayed in there
Probably in
till
a-
they put it in the furnace.
They had a coal chute.
Yeah.
Who is it, since we're on that topic, and this is Alvin Ott. Alvin went to the old school 46 to 51. And what
What
about,
I remember about the old school is the hill behind the school.
Well, he showed that, yeah. Yeah, yours.
Because that's where we used to take our sleds in the wintertime and slide down the
that's
hill.
cool.
I
I didn't know
remember that. You know,
But
I
I thought-
especially remember it with one of the teacher's students, Jim Human.
yeah, Mr. Human?
Mr. Human's son.
Mr. Human was a teacher and his son was the same age as what I was.
Oh, Jim Human,
Jim Human.
yeah,
His
He
son.
went to school
Yeah.
at the same.
okay. And so you sledded down that hill. Did any students get hurt when they were sledding?
Well, not that I recall.
No?
I remember somebody getting broken shoulders. I don't remember who it was, but somebody broke their shoulder going down that hill one time. Hit
Okay.
something and
Give me your name tag, Vern. And this is Vern Kugel. Vern went to the old school, white school 52 to 58, and the brick school 59 to 60. What are,
actually 60 there. I was over the last year before they go to the new school. I was over in the thing for the city there.
the township hall? When I work my way around, I want to learn about that, okay? Now, this is Joyce. It was Joyce Ott. Joyce married into the Zilke family. She went to the old school from 46 to 53, and the brick school 53 and 54. And Alvin and Joyce are brother and sister. What do you remember about either the white building?
She says they could go down the basement. I didn't remember that we weren't allowed to go in the basement because it was an ugly place.
Where was the bathroom at, to your remembrance?
That's what I don't remember.
Okay, you had to hold it till you got home. Do you remember how you got to the bit? Was it an outside staircase or inside?
I think when I went, it was all inside.
It was outside.
And then down the stairs, so it
Okay.
wasn't stairs right from your classroom. But
So there was
like in a hallway.
there was an inside staircase. Okay.
It was an outside.
No, that couldn't have been to it.
No. Yes, it was.
If they had inside, they didn't convert to outside.
Okay, let's settle it as we go around the horn because they may remind you.
Well, Grandpa and Grandma had a toilet outside. Remember that
I
one?
didn't mean outside that we went to the toilet.
No, but she said the outside stairway.
The outside stairway. I
Maybe
remember it.
let's take a look. Let's take a look here.
That's the front. Okay, wait a minute, go back to the one,
The other way.
next one. No.
Go for it.
Yeah, you go, there, hold it, stop right, you see that little thing sticking off the side of the building, that's how you went to the basement from the outside. Around the back, you came in from the inside.
So there's.
Okay, so
There you come from the inside.
So
Right there in that door where
is
you
this the basement
Yeah,
door?
you go down the
Okay.
basement, or you could go into either schoolroom.
Now, we're not saying you're wrong, but if you're like me, the memory kind of fades a little bit. Yeah. So we might want to revise some of the things that we remember. So this is good. Okay, let's go around here. Here we're talking to Artie. She was Harris Bloom, married to the Bloom family. Artie Harris was in the,
I think I only was here 6th and 7th. I don't know. I don't remember.
from 49 to 51. Do you remember the white school?
Yeah,
That's
right
what she-
there.
What do you remember about the white school, Artie?
You went in that door, and if you went straight, you went downstairs to the basement. If you went up, you went into the schoolroom.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and then now when you went into this door, that went right into the classroom.
You had a kind of a hallway, and hang your coat and stuff right behind that door.
And did that go to the small classroom?
No, that was the big class.
That was a big, okay. Now this door here, are you saying did this door lead to the front classroom?
You could go into the basement, or you could go into the classroom,
Oh.
or you could come over and go into that room.
So we've solved it. Inside that door was the staircase to go up and down. So we're both right. So this is outside the school building, but it's behind a door. So you're correct and you're correct. Inside and outside, respective to the classroom.
You see that little building, that part of the building sticking out over here on the side? That's how you got in from the outside, but as soon as you got down the bottom steps and turned left, you walked into the men's bathroom. And then if you went a little bit farther, you walked into the girls' bathroom.
So this is another entrance to the lower bed. Okay, let's get around to it. Artie, we're at Artie. Any other memories that you have?
Yeah, Mr. Human.
Mrs. Human. Mr. Human. What do you, now, okay, let's get to and remind me. I'm going to ask you questions about the teachers a little later. Okay, because I'll tell you stories about Mrs. Human. Okay, so you make sure you mention that. Don't let me pass it. Lillian, this is Lillian Haas. She was a Schultz.
As far as I know, I came in I was in 3rd grade, and I'm thinking it was 47.
About 1947 to 51 in the white school.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what it was.
What do you remember about the white school building as you think back?
You know, we had a different teacher. We had Miss Bruns. That's who we had, and there was I got it written down here that what his name was. We had these were the teachers before the humans came. It was Mr. Worcester. His name was Leland Worcester.
Mr. Worcester and Miss Bruns,
And you know where she's from? Nicollet, Minnesota.
Nicollet, Minnesota.
And of course,
She used to play the organ in church.
I don't remember that, but she was only here, like, see, I came in third grade. I think she was probably only here for third and fourth.
Okay, now this is good. This is teachers. We're going to get to that later. But what about the building? What do you remember about the classrooms, Lillian?
I just remember there was the one in front and the one in back. And I know the bathrooms were downstairs. I do remember even when I was a little bit older, probably closer to eighth grade and stuff, we had like a mission dinner. And we even have them down there in the basement. We had a little room down there.
Do you remember if there was a basement in the church yet or no?
There was, but it was like a real small one.
Okay.
And I think it was like a lot of old churches. I think the stairway was real crooked. Narrow.
So the basement of the school was big enough for congregational
Well,
gatherings.
we had something there, like maybe we had a mother-daughter banquet. Yeah, maybe we didn't have the mission dinner. I don't know.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask another question, and I'll tell you why I ask it. Does anybody remember where the water pump was in the basement?
That was over right underneath where the steeple is there, bell tower. If you go straight down all the way to the basement, that's where the
Yeah.
water
Yeah,
pump
in the
was.
back.
Okay.
That's where Mrs. Human lost her finger.
Now this is interesting. This is something nobody knows. When I was a student, we were scared of Mrs. Human because when she directed music, she had that tip of her finger missing.
I never knew that.
Now, Vern, could you tell us how Mrs. Human lost the tip of her finger?
Somehow, I don't remember just exactly what was wrong with the pump, but it would stick. And she seen it was stopped. She went down there and gave it a
Fix
turn and took her finger
took
around
off.
into
my
the pulley and
gosh.
took that
Took her
finger
finger off. I remember
I
that.
didn't know that either.
I met Mrs. Human in Coon Rapids, Minnesota after guest preaching, and she came up in her walker, and I knew right who she was. And when I saw her, I looked at her hands. And when I saw that missing finger, I knew that was Mrs. Human. But nobody has ever told a story how she lost that finger. Okay, very good. This is Donna Scheiman, and Donna went to the old school, that's the white one,
Yeah, the white one.
from 59 to 61.
Yeah.
What do you remember about?
I remember being terrified of the basement and the furnace.
Yes.
Yeah, did not want to be down there if the furnace was running. That thing was huge.
Was it loud?
Yeah, it was loud, it was big, it was a
Well,
coal
it was
furnace.
big, it was dark,
Yeah,
it was big, it was
Yeah.
dark, I remember that.
yeah.
Uh,
And I remember Mrs. Human very well.
Mrs. Human?
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's listen.
What I'm finding interesting is I don't think I was ever in the other schoolroom. I think I was always just in the front one.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I ever went into the back one.
In the front one is the big one?
No, the little one.
The little one. Was that for that? So that was for your upper grades.
I wasn't in
No,
there.
that was our little grade.
Yeah,
The lower grades.
Yeah,
In the
lower
front
grades.
Front room was a small one.
Right.
That was lower grades.
Yeah, and I don't think I ever went into the bigger one.
Why?
I don't know. I don't remember it at all. Well, because I never had him. We moved in here, we moved in this building when I was in second grade.
Oh, okay. Now, what do you remember about going to school in the winter versus the hotter months? Was it real hot? Was it real
I
cold?
don't remember, other than our winters were really nasty back.
Yeah.
They were.
I remember.
And I do remember sledding down the hill,
Okay.
and I remember coming on weekends with my saucer and sliding down.
Okay. Anything else you remember?
Being afraid of Mrs. Humans because of the finger. But beyond that, no.
Okay, now more memories are going to be triggered because we're going to go around about 4 or 5 times. This is Chris Oganowski, married into the Treater family. Al, you went to school 57 to 60, and so in which building was that?
I was in the white school in the front, but I'm like with Donna, I don't remember being in the other room, but I didn't go into this new school until I was in fourth grade. So somewhere I spent third grade, but I don't know where.
Okay, so when you say the new school, the new 1961 school,
I was the
Okay.
first fourth grade class there.
first, fourth grade class, so, and we're not talking about that. We'll let somebody else study that. That's modern history. We don't want, okay, but the old school, you never went to the brick school then?
No.
Okay. What do you remember about, the size of the class? Was it big enough for all the students to fit?
It was big enough, but we were tight, I think. And along the side, there was a long row of tables. That's where kindergarten sat. And then there was, must have been first and second. I don't know if it was third grade or not, had desks in the other part of the classroom.
Okay, so when I go to this picture here, is that in the large or the small classroom?
Small.
That's the-
Mrs. Hewen right back there.
Yeah.
Okay, so she thought that. The number, and others will get around to you too, but the number of desks, was that typical, how crowded it was?
Yeah.
How many students will you estimate was typical?
Oh, I have no
Oh, I
idea.
don't know.
60, probably.
When I was in kindergarten, it was 60 kids in that room.
25?
That classroom had the beginners first and second grade.
Yeah.
Beginners first and second?
When I
Second
went,
grade in that classroom.
well, when I went
That's where I
there, we
was.
went up to fourth.
And then who, okay, when Mr. Human taught, what grades did he, it probably went back and forth. What grade did Mr. Human normally teach? What?
7 and 8.
Seventh and eighth?
Oh, I think he went from fifth grade on up.
Fifth grade on up?
Fifth grade on up.
You talk about Mr. Human?
Yeah.
One thing I remember, he had a real distinct set of eyebrows.
Did
They
he?
went from here to here, and they're about that wide and that thick.
Okay, now we're gonna get to memories of the teachers in a minute. I want you to mention that, okay? Anything else, Chris, about the classroom?
Just can I tell you about my Uncle Arnold?
Yes,
Because I have a nice story, I think. He said when he went to school here at St. Paul's, his brother would drop him off in the morning early. Nobody was there. So the pastor would leave the key hanging somewhere outside of the house. He would get the key, open up school, and start the wood stove and get it all warmed up before anybody came.
Wow.
And it was kind of like his job every day to get this.
just his volunteer job, or was he assigned?
No, he was not paid or not assigned. He just did it every morning because he came early.
Okay, now that leads into this question. Who stoked the furnace? Were it students? Was it the teachers? Anybody remember who stoked it? Alvin, do you remember?
No, Elvin didn't do it. There seems like there was somebody else from the church or something.
Bus driver, there was a bus driver that did a lot of that too.
Was it Mr. Weck? UECK?
No, he wasn't here, but my dad
I
and
was
Mr.
gonna say your
Abel.
dad was.
Yeah.
My dad, and I gotta show you, this is the first bus. You had yellow up there.
Yeah.
That was wrong. This was it was red, white, and blue.
Okay. Hold that thought, because we're going to talk about the bus in a little bit. Where were we? Okay, so you remember that your Uncle Arnold fed the furnace as a student,
Right.
first thing in the morning.
Correct.
Okay?
Now, somewhere in the history that I did
I
in
don't
the
know
church,
that.
Pastor Essick used to have to stoke it too.
Probably,
Sometimes the
he was born in
pastor.
20.
Sometimes the pastor did,
24.
because the pastor lived right next door.
Yeah, there were some.
I
things
think
in the
Pastor
church.
Zink, what year did you guys come from?
43,
1943.
1943.
Yeah, there were some things. that-
Ruth Crow is Pastor Zink's daughter, and you came here in 43. Yeah, I remember that. Okay.
Yeah, but there was something in the minutes, and Pastor Kuski had translated them all. That Pastor Essick, that was one of his students back then.
Okay, so pastor did it too. Okay,
Wait, I got one more.
Mr. Treater only has the honor of having married Chris Oganowski, but you are a distinguished guest.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yes.
I don't believe that, but thank you.
And here we have Ann Enders. Ann went to the old school from 51 on, grades 1 through 6. And here, the new brick school from 1958 onward. You've heard a lot about the white school, before I ask you about your memories of the brick school, anything that wasn't mentioned about the old white school that you want to get on record? Remember anything?
I just remember going down that basement, being so musty smelling, and the floor was like wet, like dirt. Was it a dirt? But I remember that, yeah, that was
It was
nasty. It was, yeah, that was
scary.
very nasty. And I remember, this was first and second grade, because I'm in this one. And behind that door was third and fourth and fifth and sixth. And that's where I went after second grade. I went in the next room to third and fourth. And then I think they had a petition or something up for fifth and sixth grade in that one big room.
Well, we were gone by then.
There was something there because we had two emergency teachers at that time. They were like 19. Miss Hauk and Miss Voss. I remember them.
I don't remember that.
And,
What year was that?
I don't know, 19, this was 50, I don't know, what did I say?
Ruth.
50. Yeah, Ruth Hauk. Ruth Hauk was the third grade, third and fourth grade teacher. And then Voss was the fifth and sixth grade teacher.
Now, Hauk, was she local?
No.
Related?
They all came from DMLC,
And how about Voss? Came from,
Ohio.
okay. So this is the small classroom. If you were asked to point out where you are in that picture, could you do it?
Yeah, right up there.
Where at?
I'm peeking out behind the boy with the striped shirt.
Right there?
Nope, over, right above there.
Oh, right above, so I should have brought up,
Have a pointer.
I don't have a pointer. So right there is you.
No, down, next row and over. Go to the right, go to the right, up, go up one. I'm peeking right there. Nope, right above that.
Right above that.
Yeah. Yeah, see the face that's hidden, the other one's Carol Lockwood's. Right, nope, you're touching the corner of my face. Right, keep it right there. You got it right on my face, right there.
Okay, well there, you're in the picture.
Yes, I am in the
You
picture.
is anybody else here in that picture?
Vern is, for sure.
I'm in there, but I couldn't say where.
I could tell you, you're right back there in that checkered shirt back there
Yep,
against the
I've
wall.
been thinking that.
That's you back there.
Yeah.
Up there?
Yep,
Is Vern on the right or left?
right in the middle,
Right in the middle.
right in the middle with the dark hair, right there in the middle.
Right there, that's Vern Kugel.
Against the wall. Okay, and Bob Martin is right there.
Where's Joyce Cano?
And Joyce Gano is another one.
Okay, where's Bob Martin?
Right, he's got the little cowboy shirt on right there. Can you see the cow?
Oh, that?
No, over to the left, right there, that boy.
That's Bob Martin?
That's Bob Martin right there.
Okay, and then who else did you recognize?
Joyce Gano.
And-
She's right over here.
Oh, I bet right here.
Yep.
Yep, I picked her right out, Joyce Goodall.
Joyce Gano.
Now, Joyce was a Geipel,
Yes.
Joyce Geipel back then.
Sally's back there.
What year is that picture supposed to cover?
What, anybody know what year this was?
A layman right there too,
Okay,
wasn't it?
okay, hang on, what year? Do you remember, Vern?
Well, that'd probably be about 50, 51.
1950 or 51?
That's what I'm thinking.
It looks like it might be me in that one, just a little ways up in the middle. To the left, right back down.
That's Bob
Down.
Martin.
To the right, right there.
Right there? This might be Oscar Harris. Might be.
Okay.
Possibly. Okay. Anybody else in this? Are you in the picture?
I'm not in the picture, but I recognize a few.
Okay, can you maybe just go up and there's your pointer.
Yeah.
Judy Bahalik is going to point out a few people.
That looks like, okay.
Mary Beth Human?
Mary Beth, I remember Mary Beth.
Mary Beth, what's her name?
Huebner.
Hebner.
Hebner.
Okay.
Mary Beth, Mary Hebner.
I'm thinking, well, this looks like Johnny Nettaba.
Yeah, I think that's John Nettaba.
John Netaba,
And I think that's Diana Ott right
Right
there.
here?
Yeah.
Diana Ott,
I think
And I
that's
know
Diana.
this is my brother, Bob Mahal.
And Bob, yeah.
Bob Mahalik,
Mm-hmm.
right there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Carol Lockwood's is over on the other side.
Okay, well, if you recognize any more later, this is precious. This is precious. Now, we were over here. Any other memories of that building? Musty basement. Did kids ever sneak down there to play?
Are you kidding?
Oh,
No. Nobody wanted to go down that basement.
Nobody wanted to go in the
That was
basement.
all dark.
Shuffleboards, they had two big shuffleboards, I used to go down and play with.
The boys did, the girls didn't mess
Especially in
with
the
it.
winter time, you couldn't get out.
Okay,
I
Vern,
remember, Mr. Human, if you misbehaved,
oh yeah.
you got your ear pulled.
Would pull the hair.
Mrs. Human too. Now, let's get to that when we talk about teachers, because that's a whole separate topic. Vern Kugel, Vern has given me some pictures, and I've got some of them. Vern, I'm going to go to this picture here. Is this the township hall?
Yeah, it looks like it. Is
No.
it her?
No, that's the old, that's the brick school before they added on to it.
That's the brick school.
Before they added on to it.
Now, you went to school in this building?
Yes, that's the classroom.
Okay.
Me too. I did too.
Was there a upstairs and a downstairs, Vern?
Yes, okay, wait a minute, here now. Right here, right over here someplace would have been the teacher's desk.
Yeah,
Mr. Humans.
yeah,
And straight below is the 5th and 6th grade.
right.
And then,
7th and 8th.
was there a stairwell inside the
Yeah.
school?
Yes, there was,
Yes.
inside and out. You
Okay.
could go outside and go down the steps, or you could stay inside and go
But
inside.
inside.
And now, was,
When we had to use the bathroom, we'd have to go down through that steps and through that other classroom, so you had to be quiet and behave yourself.
so there was only one set of bathrooms
Just
in the
downstairs.
brick school?
Right.
Okay, in the brick school, you're saying Mrs. Human had lower grades upstairs?
Mr. Human had them on the brick school, the old brick.
Upstairs. And then Mrs. Human,
No, she was still over in the wood school.
this is important, Mrs. Human was over there. Now, when Mr. Human was in the brick school, was it only Mrs. Human teaching in one room in the white school, or was there another teacher?
Well, there were two teachers, but you had the first, second, and, or beginners first and second, and she was teaching them, and that was that one outside.
Right.
The other one was second and third, and then somehow they messed around there, and then they had the 5th and 6th, the
Right.
second and third went to the old brick school, the basement.
Okay. So, do you remember anything about the conditions? Was it in the brick school? Was it terribly hot? No air
No,
conditioning,
there was no air conditioning.
but it was okay to go to school there.
It was hot.
Yeah, I got a little warm.
Yeah, it was pretty hot.
Okay. Did it get real cold in the brick school?
I don't remember it being cold.
No, it wasn't, no, it didn't get cold.
Okay. Okay. That's the brick school. And this would be the brick school too.
No, that's over there in the town hall.
Now let's talk about that just for a minute. How many here remember going to school where St. Paul's had no more room? They had to rent out the township hall, the village hall, to go to school. Who went to school there?
I did.
You did.
Yeah.
Tell us just a little bit about,
Sitting right there
In the front
with
row.
the checkered shirt, that's
That's
me.
him.
what do you remember about the township hall classroom?
It was just a township hall, and they had the things in there, the desks, and I think like on the weekend, we had to push them off to the side in case they wanted to use that. Now, when we were going for confirmation, Reverend Zink was over in the church, so we'd have to go down, come back here behind the buildings from that school. We had to come back here behind the buildings and go to the church to have our classes.
And was that down in the basement of the church?
No, we just stayed in the back pews.
In the back pew, okay.
Confirmation.
So you went to school in the township hall,
Right.
and then, and is my understanding correct? That was necessary because the number of students wouldn't fit.
No, that's when they was building the new school, and we didn't have any place to put them. So you had kids going to school in the old church basement, you had them over in the town hall, and I don't remember, they maybe saved the wood building toward last so they could keep classes in there too.
That's important. What was the order? Anybody remember the white school existed along with the brick school. And then when they built the 1961 school in 1960, students couldn't go to school in the brick school. Is that when they went to the township? That's it.
And in the old church basement.
In the church basement.
Now, we also, everybody went over at noontime, that's where they had hot lunches.
In the basement of the church, yeah.
Where at?
Church
In the
basement.
church, old church basement.
In the old church basement.
They had a kitchen there and the women would volunteer to come in, and for a couple of weeks, every woman in the church would volunteer a little bit.
Now, the thing about history is we get to anecdotal stories and we learn later, I was all wrong. I thought that we had to rent that because of the huge number of students. That was rented because the 1951 brick school was turning into the 1961 group. See, I'm here to learn from you. Okay, now, we reviewed a few things. If you have more memories about the white school, don't hesitate to bring them up. Did you go to school at either of the two schools?
No, I'm here because my grandma was born in 1899, the day this church was founded.
Okay, hold on over there. What?
My grandma was born in 1899, the very day this church was founded. Her name was Anna Nimps, later Kazishki, but that was in St. Joe. Anyway, she attended school here, she was confirmed here, and she was married here.
And then could you say your name for the...
Jeannie Schuler, and I'm from Trinity, and Grandma and Grandpa.
Gene Schuler. And Gene has been to all of our historical programs here because your grandmother was here when the church first started.
Right, and she did attend school here through 8th grade, confirmation, and then she was married in 1922.
Okay.
Here, I believe.
Okay, so we have two people here who didn't go to school here but are learning, and maybe they can offer things that they've heard. So now I'm going to go around the room because remember how I told you, oh, we're going to get to that later. Well, now's the time to talk about teachers. I remember Mr. Hewitt. I remember Mrs. Human. What do you Nice stories only. Well, I could tell you when I got a whooping from Mrs. Human, yeah. Okay, but maybe there's some things about them as people that you'd like to talk about. Oscar Harris, what do you remember about your teachers here at St. Paul's?
Well, I told you about Mr. Human.
Yeah.
Well, when I was on the school board, we got a new principal come in, Mr. Zimmerman.
Mr. Zimmerman.
He had the same eyebrows. And the one thing I remember about Alan, I think it was, I'm not sure, one of the teachers he had when he was little, back when he was a kid, they were getting sideburns. I thought it was Mrs. Human, but he said she'd grab hold of that sideburn and you thought you were a ballerina on your toes when you got into trouble.
How many people here remember Mrs. Human and you listened when she pulled on your ear? Because, by the way, I deserved it. Do you remember anything else about Mr. and Mrs. Human when you were a student?
Well, other than the fact they didn't have too far to go home, they were right on the other side of the parking lot over there.
Okay, now the teachers lived in a house that was just across the street where the parking lot is now.
Right on if you took the alley of the parking lot behind the buildings, it was right across the street on the left-hand side.
Okay.
And the church owned that, Freddie.
Who?
We owned the teachers over there.
Okay, now there was a teacherage farther down a block away. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but not right on John Beers.
No.
Okay.
Straight from the front of the church, straight
Across the parking lot.
Part of it there on the left-hand side, right on the corner, 2-story house.
Yeah, and later on, I think the Andrews family might have owned that later on. Okay, that helped. Anything else about the teachers?
I think there was 3 houses here that we owned,
Yeah.
that was for teachers, weren't they?
Okay.
We had two, I know
There were
that.
two,
and
the
then
teachers.
later on-
There were two. Does anybody know, however, what, I remember Mr. Zimmerman lived there, Mr. Mammal lived there, but that was after 1961. Did we own those houses when we had the white school?
I don't know.
Yeah. I think, well, yeah, because they were built right after the war. Those houses were built right after the war. There was well, if you look at it, there's quite a few houses down the road about the same structure.
Okay,
Well, you
now,
know why? Because Harry Milky built them all. He built the same stuff. Harry Milky, he was a member of the church at one time. The Milkys were prominent family here.
Come in to
And
play
he did build
park.
most of these houses.
you did, okay. Ruth,
Yes.
now you have a lot of memories about a certain pastor here, being a daughter, a Zink daughter, but we're focusing on teachers now. What do you remember, if anything, about your teachers when you went to school in either the white school or the brick school?
We didn't go in the brick. We're
No,
only in the
we-
white.
Only the white.
1943 is when I started school. No kindergarten.
Yeah,
Just went into
kindergarten.
first grade. The small room, which was grades 1 to 4, and then Mr. Human's room was 5 to 8. I remember Miss Bruns. Miss Bruns wasn't Mr. Human then, was it?
No, and that was at Mr. Stubach.
Yeah. Miss Bruns was my teacher, our teacher. She was great. She was a new grad, and she came to us. She was kind, she was beautiful, and she was just a perfect teacher. Mr. Human, when we got into his class, he was a good teacher, I guess.
Would he be described as strict?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Could agree with that.
Today, he would not.
He would not
He would make
survive.
it now today.
He would have went to jail.
Yeah, he would take kids' hair.
You can be strict, but you
I
can't.
remember Art Zick.
Yeah, you couldn't do that.
Art Zick, he would really pick on him.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, Art was a little bit of a stinker. But for the women, he would take his pen and go,
Yeah.
poke him.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Pencil would be.
Yeah. That's Mr. Human, and you had Mr. Human through the 8th grade? You did. Okay. Judy, do you remember anything? And we can come back, anything about your teachers?
Okay, Mrs. Human would come outside sometimes, not all the time, but she'd come out like on that upper level and play with us. We had a slide there and a merry-go-round.
Okay, let me go to that picture.
There, that's a nice.
Down there, slide and merry-go-round.
It was on the top, so we only just.
That other picture
Still
shows
on
it
the
better.
top.
Yeah, there was a flagpole and stuff in the front of the school.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the flagpole and everything up there.
That's where the merry-go-round.
Up here or over here? Right or left?
I think the merry-go-round was on the left, right there where your hand is.
That's what they
And
did.
did they have a slide there too? I don't remember a slide. I can remember the merry-go-round.
Oh, but this is below the hill.
Yeah, that's below the hill.
Okay, so you remember a playground?
Wasn't much of a playground, but.
No.
But she,
But you remember a playground up above the hill?
and when she would come out and play with us, then it'd be like Ring Around the Rosie, or something. She'd play with us, and I don't know, I thought that was cool that she'd play with us, but she didn't come out all the time. And one year I trick-or-treated with Betsy Geisler, and she was my classmate, and their home was right across the street from the school,
Yeah.
where the parking lot is now. And so we did all the merchants, but we also did the humans, and they gave apples. And,
Excuse me, the Geisler family, did they live on in that large house overlooking the hill?
They ended up buying the Schneck home, which was right across the street.
Okay, but right on the hill.
yeah.
Okay, remember Shirley Geisler,
Yeah.
husband Lester?
Yeah.
I remember taking piano lessons in that house, but that's the Geisler house you're talking about. And are you saying that used to be the Schneck house?
Yeah, Fred Schneck owned that.
Right.
When they bought Schneck's grocery store in St. Joe, then they moved to
Then they
St. Joe
bu-
went to church.
I didn't know that was the Schneck house.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was the original Schneck.
thank you. Continue.
I had younger cousins. One was Mark Hendricks. And so he was just a year or so behind me, and he was going to be coming into school. So he spent a day with me sitting in the same seat. And that was like his preschool, I guess, get ready for school. And and I think everybody did that with younger brothers and sisters or cousins or something. And I can remember older teachers, if you want to go to that.
Older.
Well, older grades.
Older grades.
Yeah, if you remember something about them, go ahead.
Okay, I think it was fifth and sixth grade was downstairs in the new brick part. Anyway, we couldn't wait to get down there because Mrs. Rauch was the teacher, and she was a lot younger teacher.
Mrs. Rauch.
Yeah. Anybody?
I think that's what they were saying before, instead of Hulk, it said Ralph.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she was real friendly. That was a nice teacher. And then at the time that we were in the church basement, that's where we had to go, was Mrs. Johnson. I'm pretty sure Mrs. Johnson. And anyway, when the mothers would come to school society, I don't know, there was some kind of a collection, and whatever grade had the most mothers got that collection that time, that week or month or something. Anyway, she saw to it that we got a parakeet. She must have liked parakeets. It must have been her idea. And so I remember the parakeet in the church basement, and it would always land on my head and stay on my head a long time. I don't know. I guess it liked me. But let's see. I think that's about it. I know. I had Mr. Human too, but anyway. And in fourth grade, I remember. And this isn't part of the school, but I remember when my really, really best friend in my classroom, Dale Schultz, drowned.
Oh, I remember.
And his brother, Tony.
Yeah.
And then a friend, Roy Rogers. They all had taken off together. And it was actually November 21st. And they went to a pond, which they probably always played at or something. But
Back on their property, yeah.
Okay, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Was that out by Hollywood?
Yeah, on Hollywood Road there. Ken and Doris Schultz were the parents, and at that time they came to church here. And then the grandma and grandpa did too.
Is that where the Rock Boy drowned too, or no?
No,
Well, that-
Rock was drowned on, didn't Albert Rock drown in Uncle Luker's?
Who?
Albert Rock.
was he with them? Or did
No,
that-
the man.
But the Rock Boy wasn't with.
He would have been.
Drowned
Drowned.
on Luker's property.
Yeah,
in the
well,
pond.
that's by the Michigan Lutheran High School.
Right.
Okay, but that's different than this account, right?
Yeah.
And was that Schultz your Schultz?
No,
Or different Schultz?
we're not related to any Schultzes around here.
Okay, and that's important. Okay, you're very complete. Anything else?
Well, they went to the pond and they saw their heads, their hats on the top, And I hadn't been in school that day, I had a real bad cold, but my mom saw to it that she took me to the old funeral home there on Main Street, St. Joe. And I got to see, him in the casket. He was all blowed up.
And he was a student then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now that's interesting because,
And we all got the whole school went to the funeral.
Yeah, I think I was
Don't
still
need those
sick, luckily, because I cried and cried when he died.
okay, and now that has to do with what we'll call accidents and injuries.
Yeah.
We'll get to those as we go around. Okay,
But one thing we did do, though, like you said, the whole school went to his funeral, which I'm sure happened. But when, luckily I was still sick that day because it really bothered me to lose him. But the 7th and 8th graders always sang for funerals.
always.
And what was the song that we always sang?
Meet a Bennett.
Sleep in Jesus. It was
Oh,
always,
Sleep in
always a
Jesus.
Sleep in Jesus.
Now that appears in obituaries in the newspaper, and that's distinctive because they didn't have to learn a new song. Did anybody remember as a student going to church to sing for a funeral, but you had to sing in German the hymn Mide Bennett Jesu Ruh? Okay. It's interesting, we had to learn that. Do you remember?
No, but I do remember when Albert died, the school had this thing, we always sang in the old church right up by the pulpit. And, so the congregation was here and we were right up in front. And it was really sad. He was our, classmate.
Classmate. What grade was he in?
he was a year younger than me.
Yeah, Albert, right,
He
he was
was
younger
Albert,
than us.
he was, he was his.
I don't know, maybe it was Alvin's age.
Alvin,
Alvin, was
yeah.
Albert Rock your age?
Yeah. Yeah,
Was Albert Rock your age?
Wasn't Albert your age?
yeah.
Yeah, pretty good. It had to be
And Larry
mighty
Zilke was
close
my
if he
age.
wasn't.
Okay,
He was your age.
okay. Let's go on. We might get more. Joyce, any memories about teachers that you had?
Mr. Human.
Are-
I like to whisper all the time. I had to whisper to all my friends. And I got in trouble all the time, and he'd pound on my head and pull my ears all the time.
Now, let me ask this question for those of you like me and Joyce who misbehaved. What was the penalty for misbehaving? In my day, we had to write sentences. I will not talk in school 100 times. I wrote more sentences than are in Britannica Encyclopedia. What kind of, did you have to sit in a corner? Did you have a dunce hat?
Nope.
Did you get a whooping?
Nope.
You just got a pen on the top of the head.
And your ears, your ears pulled.
Did you learn your lesson?
No.
Alvin, Joyce and I were the two least behaved students in the school. Alvin, what do you remember about your teachers?
Sliding down the hill in the wintertime. And somehow, accidentally or purposely, I happened to run into Jimmy Human, who was my classmate.
Oh, I'm Mr.
And
Human's son.
Mr. Human's son.
Son, yeah.
And he said he was going to go and tell his dad, and I said, well, I didn't, I said, I'm sorry that I bumped into you. I didn't mean to do it. He said, I think you done it on purpose.
Did you get in trouble?
But if he told his dad, I don't know. I never heard anything about it.
You didn't get in trouble for it.
I did not get in.
Those are the idle threats of classmates. Was Jimmy Human a good friend of yours at school?
Well, yeah,
We didn't
not real good, but he was. I mean, because we were classmates.
Right.
Okay. Yes, Oscar.
The only thing I remember as far as making the kids behave in school, if Mrs. Human would send it to Mr. Human. And if Mr. Human didn't get it straightened out, you went to capital murder. You had to go to Pastor Sink. And I don't know of too many kids who went there, but that was the last resort.
We went to Pastor Sink because he was kind and understanding,
Yeah.
even that we were naughty.
Yeah.
So that was a chain of command. I had a fourth chain of command, and that was they called my parents, and then I got the Board of Education when I got home. That's interesting. Artie, what do you remember about the teachers that you had at St. Paul's?
Just like they said, the pounding with the eraser of a pencil and pulling your ear. But I also remember he would come with a ruler.
Oh, yes.
And slap your hands with a ruler.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now he remembers. Did you get in a lot of trouble when you were a student or not really?
Probably just as much as
Everybody.
everybody. Joyce and I probably were the worst. I don't know.
Lillian, what do you remember about your teachers?
Well, like I say, I was, like Ruth said, we had Miss Bruns, and she was very kind. She was a really sweet teacher. And then, of course, from there we went into Mr. Human's room. But it was the same thing, pulling ears. And of course, I'm just like Joyce, I'd like to talk, so.
Yeah.
And so I got in trouble. I probably wrote sentences too, now that you mention it.
I don't know.
I'm not real sure, but I'm sure we did because.
And then, so you had Mrs. Human
No, never had her.
Never had her.
Because when, they weren't here yet. When I came to school here in third grade.
Oh.
This is when we had Miss Bruns, and she was here 2 years.
Okay.
And, then by the time they came, I was in Mr. Human's room.
Oh, then straight to Mr. Human.
Yeah, probably was 5th grade.
Okay. Donna, what do you remember about your teachers?
Oh my. Mrs. Human used to make me stand by my seat because I talked too much. It never escalated to go stand in the corner, but I would have to stand up by my seat, which I just thought was horrible. All I was doing was talking. Yeah. Other than that, she did have a sense of humor.
A what?
A sense of humor.
Yeah.
And I had a chance to interview her many years later for our church newsletter over in Wisconsin. And at that point, I learned from her one tip that has helped me with moving to teaching. And that's when a kid acts up, first of all, find out why they did it before you react. What are they doing? What's going on? What happened? Because you could read it wrong.
So you're saying that your teachers probably had a good measure of understanding of human behavior,
Yeah.
without taking college courses in it.
Yeah, because I don't know what they took in college.
Good.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But the thing with the sense of humor, I mean, I would say things that would make my mom want to die sometimes. And kindergarten, about the third week, Mrs. Human, as my mom was getting me, said, "I'll see you tomorrow." And I said, "Well, no, let me know when you learn more, then I'll come back." Oh, my mom just she burst out laughing. She knew I was bored.
Anything else about your teachers that you want to share?
Oh, there were some later ones that I liked and some I didn't.
Hmm?
And same with them liking me and not. I think probably my favorite teacher, the best one I had for me, was Mr. Zimmerman.
Okay. And now Mr. Zimmerman didn't teach in the brick school though. He came in the new 1961 school. Okay. Okay. Anything else? We'll get back to you. Chris.
I was scared to death of Mrs. Human. I think because I was never naughty. I was always very quiet and shy. And so when she would be pulling somebody else's hair, it would make me scared. So, I was scared of her. But in third grade, I had Donna Hartwig, and I loved Donna Hartwig.
Yeah.
She was the best teacher and the one who probably geared me into ministry.
Now,
And I had her again in 5th grade.
was that in the brick school or the white school?
That was, I don't know, I don't know. It was 3rd grade, so it had to have been I wasn't in the brick school ever.
I had to have been in the newer school for when she came.
No, she was here when I was in 3rd grade, and I was in 4th grade was when I was in the new school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any
I
other?
don't know where I was in 3rd grade, but I had Donna Hartwig, and she was wonderful.
Donna Hartwick. She was my 3rd grade teacher, so I remember her. We had the same teacher.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else about your teachers?
I just always enjoyed school. I liked my teachers.
Okay.
I think we had very good teachers here. But then I had Mr. Zimmerman and Mr. Mammal, later on.
They must have liked you too. That's why. Okay. Ann, anything you remember about your teachers?
Well, Mr. Human, he probably would not be able to teach at all nowadays with his methods that he had. But I remember him, and it was always with the boys, and I think you were one of them back there, Vern. They would be talking or doing something, and he had this thing where he was going to give them a cuff. So he'd take his hand and smack them across the head. Oh yeah, he did that quite a bit, and he almost got a little bit in trouble because he did that to one boy whose father was on the board. That didn't go over very well, and they called me and asked me what did I see because I sat right next to this boy, and I told him what I saw, and there was something said or done at that time, but he still was teaching. But yeah, his discipline method was way back in the German, way back in the German. Not to spare the rod at all.
And what was the last teacher that you had?
It was him, Mr. Human.
That was him. And then what was the one before that?
Well, I had him in seventh and eighth in the Newburgh, or the Old Brick building. I
Yeah,
had him.
yeah,
I had him. Mrs. Human I started with and ended
okay.
up with him.
And what was your maiden name?
Ott.
You were a Ott. Okay, that's important because we want to get maiden names. Vern, we're finishing up with you on teachers. What do you remember about your teachers?
Well, I went first, second grade, I was with Mrs. Human. And then we moved over, I moved over to the other side. That was, Mrs. Rout, or Miss Rout at
Miss
the time.
Rouse.
And they had Arlen Bull, he was the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember the one woman there.
Voss. There was.
Mrs. Voss. And then I wound up with Mr. Human. But Mr. Human had kind of a way of talking, and well, forevermore.
Yes.
It's one of his favorite, evermore.
Yeah.
It's such foolishness.
Yeah.
So anybody who was in seventh or eighth grade would always bring that up, joking about it.
They were, yeah. Comment about it.
Okay, well and it's sad that you're at the end because you probably share a lot of the memories they had. I'll get to you next, and Oscar.
The one thing I remember about Mr. Human, and I get a memory about at least once a year, because when I was in the seventh or eighth grade, we had to memorize Almighty Fortress is Our God. I don't know how many recesses I lost, but I never did get that whole thing memorized. But every time we have it in church, I like the song.
And can sing it.
Or you were going to say something, Judy.
Oh, well, for Mr. Human, I remembered he used to, when he talk about perfume, like he didn't like lady was wearing lipstick and things like that. And so perfume, remember, he'd say, that stinky smelling stuff. He called it that. And then, yeah, you don't remember saying that? No. And then this one time he was giving us the list of etiquette, like, what you use your fork for and all this kind of stuff. Well, he got to this one sentence that said, don't pick up your soup bowl to finish it up. Like, it's impolite to finish it. And he's like, and he's like, you're just supposed to leave it flat and not even tilt it to get the rest. He says, I don't know what's wrong with that. And so, and that was kind of cool.
Mr. Human teaching etiquette. Something about that just sounds funny. Okay, now I want to get to this topic. What do you remember? How many of you rode the school bus to school? Raise your hand. Okay, that's surprising. What do you remember about the school bus? And this will be a little quick. What?
I remember walking to school.
We didn't walk to here.
When Evans,
Oh, to Evans School, but not to here.
not here.
No. Do you remember, what do you remember about the school bus?
This is a picture of it if you guys.
Wasn't that your dad that started it?
Oh,
Yeah.
sure, her dad drove the
My
school
dad,
bus
I
for
remember
a long
bus driver.
time.
was a good
And then
school bus.
Mr. Abel was the second one.
Okay, now your dad's name was?
Fred Schultz.
Fred Schultz was the first school bus driver. Now, the picture you're showing me is from 1947. 1947, was that the very first school bus? Now, remember, this is the first school bus in our synod.
Well, it could have been 46. I don't know.
Um,
We had to walk, that's why we went to Evans School the first, when I was in
That's why you got
kindergarten.
to come here.
And then when I was in first grade, then they got a school bus, because Mom said.
Because
"You
we
get-"
had to cross the railroad
But
track.
I mean,
to go to Evans.
yeah,
Go to
so
Evans.
that's why Mom said they only had one car back then, so. and-
Okay, let's do this. We're going to get to you. Where did you live?
I lived on Jericho Road, about mile and a half south of Stevensville.
Okay.
And I was the last one picked up I was one of the first ones, I think, picked up in the morning, and the last one dropped off at night.
And what do you remember about the school bus?
Well, I like to sit in the back to be able to bounce around, and maybe the back seats were taken when I first got on, but since I didn't get off until the very last, I got to go in the back. And Mr. Krieger was my bus driver.
Who?
Mr. Krieger.
Krieger.
And there were times that he would bring his grandson along, Brian Krieger.
Okay.
He was little, and
You're talking about Rudolph Krieger, I think.
he was a farmer.
It was, Dwayne's dad.
Dwayne's
Yeah.
dad, okay.
Right.
And I can't remember Dwayne's dad. That's relation to us. But go ahead.
So he'd bring his grandson Brian along, and I'd go up to the front and I'd say, come sit with me, Brian, come sit with me. No. Well, maybe halfway through or so, he finally would, and then we go to the back. I had the best time with him. I named one of my son, actually Brian, because of Brian Creek.
Right. And you do remember the bus when you hit a bump in the back seat?
Yeah.
Remember that? Okay. Did you ride the bus?
We rode the bus when they didn't have a bus right away, and that's why
Right.
we
Yeah.
went to Evans.
Where did you live when you rode the bus to St. Paul's?
You know where I live now, on the corner of Lincoln and Marquette?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Just
Then
kidding.
kitty corner
Kitty corner to there.
to that, yeah.
Okay.
next house
And the
there.
bus would pick you up. Do you remember going all the way out to South St. Joe on your bus route? And do you remember going all the way to her house in Baroda?
Ours was Stevensville. Ours was.
Stevensville, South Baroda, North
I mean,
Baroda?
But she's a lot younger, so
Oh.
I might have been already out
Yeah,
of
she
St.
was out of
Paul.
school.
Okay. What do you remember about riding the bus, Alvin?
It was fun.
I don't
We liked riding
remember
the
a
bus.
whole lot, except I think, if you get too noisy, why they'd say that, you can't be doing that, you're distracting the driver, and
Did everybody stay in their seats pretty much?
I think so. I don't
as far
remember.
as I know,
Yeah. Okay. Do you remember taking the bus?
I remember taking it. I lived on Washington and Rocky Weed.
Yeah, I remember where you lived.
Yeah, and I remember taking the bus. They picked me up in front of the house,
brother's name.
and that's all I remember.
And to school, and you were learning.
Yeah.
You were focused on learning, not the bus.
Oh,
Now, Lillian, your father was the first bus driver.
Yes.
Did you take the bus to school?
Oh, yeah.
Where did you live then?
We lived on Cleveland Avenue. Like I lived, when I built my house, it was on the corner of Barbara Ann and Cleveland. It's like next door.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. And the farmhouse is still there, but remodeled.
I can remember riding the bus that we stopped in Derby. I know the route was all over the place. I mean, man, we were here, there, and everywhere. It was quite a route. And we stopped in Derby, and that's the day we found out. Now, they would know this. Fred Mabes had burnt up in a brush fire.
Died in the.
He actually burned up in a.
Was that a student?
No, it was a relative of mine too.
Oh.
My mother's, married to my mother's cousin, but he had a heart attack. He was burning brush, and they
And
found his shoes. That's all
That's
they
the farmer
found.
mom.
And then
And
for
we
the,
stopped at the gas store in Derby, and that's where we heard that.
and then riding the bus, any memories that you recall?
No, not really.
No, really? Donna, did you ride the bus? Where did you live?
I lived across from the current township hall on Roosevelt.
Hold on, everybody, so I could hear.
Yeah, I was across from the current township hall on Roosevelt, South Roosevelt. What I remember most was Frank Albo,
Hold
one
on
of the drivers, was my mom's uncle. And so I would be out there with my neighbors, Marcia and Gary, when they got on the bus. And before I started school, he would pick me up and take me out for a donut now and then. He'd drop the kids off at school and we'd go get a donut. I get to kindergarten and found out I had to get off the bus. And oh, did he have a challenge.
So you didn't get off the bus in time?
Yeah, but then we also, as moving forward, we have 2 buses.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. and
but this is just the first bus.
Yeah, the first bus.
You didn't have 2 buses with the brick school?
Probably not.
No.
No, 'cause
Okay.
my memories of the second bus, I'm older.
Okay, Chris, where did you live when the bus was going?
We started on Lincoln Avenue by Upton School. And Diana Ott lived down the road from us. And I just remember she was.
Close to me.
Yeah.
To where I live.
Yes, right. And she and her sister Darlene were really mean on the bus. And then when we moved over here to Mohican, then we would take the bus to my grandma's and grandpa's on Holden Road. And I have a memory of Anne Hine Dunsing just singing all the time on the bus. And it was just very happy.
Singing all the time on the
She would always
bus.
sing on the bus, yep. And it was
It was Ann a bus rider too? Where did she live at that time?
I think they lived on Hinchman.
farm, yeah.
Okay, yeah, the Hind Farm right there.
Mhm.
Okay, Ann, you were, do you remember anything about riding the bus?
I remember getting in trouble for being on the bus too long, and everybody else was in the classroom. I was still talking to the bus. I remember they come looking for me quite a few times. I remember that. I got in trouble. Other than that, I don't remember.
Where did you live when the bus would pick you up?
We lived at that time, it was the old Catania farm, which is not, is different now. But do you know where the little pink barber shop is that everybody goes to?
On Red Arrow?
That was all the Catania
That's a
farm.
Catania, yeah.
Back up on the hill, my dad built a house,
Okay,
and that's where we lived.
and you got picked up by the
We had to
bus
walk
there.
all the way down to the Red Arrow
Okay.
to get picked up by the.
Vern, did you ride the bus?
Yeah, nobody brought this up, but we used to have what they called a first and second, but I only had one bus, but there was a first and second bus they called it. Everything this side of John Beers, you took the bus, and then he'd come back and pick up the second batch and take them on the other side.
Had one bus.
Now, this
Then
is
they got
interesting.
two buses, and then it eliminated.
And when I rode the bus, I did that side, and then there was completely strange when I went to stay overnight at a friend's house. Completely straight route, but you had, now who was the bus driver when you?
Mr. Abel was one of them. I don't remember the rest of them. Mr. Abel, I remember.
Abel?
Yeah, Abel.
Huh?
And matter of fact, there's a little story with this. I was just talking to her about it. We got on the bus one afternoon and we was going home. Mr. Abel was driving. We got down here to the corner where Lakeshore High School is. All that was gone. There was nothing there at that time. Well, her mother got into a bad wreck down there. I always remember that to this day. Mr. Abel got out and he was checking, making sure people were all okay. Her mother got a bad cut on the leg, I think, and stuff, but everybody came out all right. I still remember that to this day.
Still remember that story from riding the bus?
And the thing, another thing is, you used to have a sidewalk going all the way on this, would be out there along the road and past where the teacherage or the pasturage was.
Yeah,
And then you'd go down a couple of steps and the sidewalk would take you over and you could go into the old white school. Well, we used to all get right by them steps. If you was on the second bus, we'd collect there at a certain time. And when we see the bus pull in over here, then we'd go walk up there and get on the bus. And I remember them two over there. I'm going to tell you a story about this.
oh, a story,
Tell a story about you.
here comes a story about the odds.
I was probably a kid about that high. And them two were standing in the front of the line, waiting for the bus. He was standing there facing up this way, and she was standing behind him. I seen her stick that foot out there and whop him right in the hind end.
Those are sisters.
Well, that was 70 years ago.
Go ahead, okay, here you go, Alvin.
Is if you misbehaved or done something wrong and you did not listen to that driver had the permission to kick you, stop and let you get off that bus.
I remember
Is that right, Lillian?
Do you remember any students just getting left off the side of the road?
Oh, yeah, Bob Lickey.
I think it's Elizabeth, I can't remember who it was.
It was Bob Lickey, he got kicked off. Bob Lickey, probably.
And then they just have to walk home. Okay, well, I guess we got, nobody has heard these stories. One brief topic, do you remember playing sports against other schools?
Yep. No, we didn't.
We had a field day.
I didn't even have it in high school.
I was gonna say, we never
Well,
played.
do you remember playing sports at other schools?
We had a field day. I can remember field day.
Okay, let's talk about this. Listen to this. Did other Lutheran schools come here or what?
I think we went somewhere.
Yeah, I don't.
Does anybody else remember that?
For field day?
Well, I don't know about field day, but we used to, I remember when they started basketball, girls' basketball, and we practiced in the old Stevensville school. But I don't remember what grade I was.
Okay.
There's a picture, you got a picture on there with the guys standing in front. We were getting ready to either go or we just got back from a field day. There it is, right there.
That's,
Bob Mahalik, Bob Martin,
Bob
Dean
Martin,
Koontz, John
yeah.
Neneba, and me.
Mm-hmm.
so you just got back. Do you remember where the field day was?
Pardon?
Where was it?
I don't remember.
Okay.
On the bus we went to.
Okay, did you, you did not have, when you were in school, you did not have a gymnasium, but did you have basketball teams who played at Stevensville at the school? Okay,
It seems to me, I think we had a ping pong table.
We had a ping pong
Does
table
anybody
in the
remember that?
basement of the brick, the.
Yeah, there was, I
small
think there was a
brick
ping pong table. That was about the only sports I knew.
Yeah.
yeah.
We had a ping pong table.
At recess, was there a softball diamond?
No.
No.
Was there a field or just a little playground?
Snowballs.
Down below the hill, did it flood down there?
When it would rain, yeah.
When it would rain, the creek would overflow?
Imagine they had something down there, didn't they?
What?
Probably we had a couple swings and teeter-totters.
Now, to my,
Maybe something like that.
I want to show you this picture. I can't say to my memory, but it looks to me beyond this, that might have been where they grazed cattle. Anybody remember any farm animals down there? No?
But they used to play with the fifth and sixth graders used to play ball. And right where the brick building was, if you went down the brick building, went off there, if the ball got out in there, you was out in old black muck to go get it.
It was,
Well, it used to be a swamp.
okay, so it was a swamp below the hill.
Oh, yeah, you can see right down that old black dirt.
And Freddie, I don't know if you ever heard or not, but they called that the old German school.
Yeah,
And that was known around Stevensville, that was the German school on the hill.
yep, German school. That's important. Were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, do you remember when you come down? And then when you're going down on the right, close to the road, those 3 trees that grew together? Us girls would
I
always
remember
play
that,
in
yeah.
the 3 trees.
Yep.
And I remember the monkey part, and we called it quicksand. But there was little yellow flowers, those little
Oh,
buttercups
oh,
or
yeah.
something bloomed in there.
Yeah, but it was all marsh.
Cowslips? Okay.
And acorns.
Wow. Okay, this is so fun, we could go for hours. Yeah, you have something to say.
I grew up at Trinity, and I remember coming here, it must have been the new brick school or the addition to the gymnasium and playing girls' basketball there. And that would have been
when they built the
around
gymnasium.
63.
Yeah, we had
Maybe
a new
little
school.
earlier than that. But it looks like your new school and the gymnasium was built around 60.
Yeah, because, thank you for that, because St. Paul didn't have a gymnasium until 1961. We'll have another historical session 20 years from now on how hard that tile floor was. Okay, let me see if okay, one round quickly. In school, who was your best friend, and did that best friend have a nickname? Did you have a best friend?
Bill Follick.
Phil Follick, did he have a nickname?
No.
Okay.
No, he was in our wedding though.
Did Phil Follick have a flat top haircut back then?
Yep.
Some things never change. Who was your best friend?
Lillian and Lorraine Schneck. Lillian Hassey and Lorraine Schneck.
And Lorraine Schneck, okay?
And Artie too.
Artie too. Those two been together
Yeah,
for.
we 3 were.
Who was your best friend, Judy?
Cheryl Floyd, and no nickname.
What was her
No
name?
nickname.
Cheryl Floyd.
Floyd.
Mhm.
Floyd. Cheryl.
Mhm.
Okay.
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
It was some boy, but mine, I don't remember who it was.
Well, you know, you were aunt, so you were friends with everybody, weren't you? Artie, who was your best friend?
Lillian and Ruth.
Lillian, who were your best friends?
Same here.
You kind of hung around together, huh?
Yeah, we got our class, quite a few still belong to St. Paul's. I mean, the ones that haven't died.
Yeah.
But we had 7 in our confirmation class.
7, okay?
One
But-
boy, and 6.
3 best friends right here. Donna, do you remember who your best friend was?
Yep, Connie Fowzak, and she didn't have a nickname.
Connie Falzak. And I think Donna maybe, but I remember Connie Father. I had a lot of babysitters when I was young, and they only lasted 1 or 2 times. I don't know why. Connie Falzak was one of them. Who was your best friend in school?
Linda Cronus.
Linda
Cronus. They lived right down on Cleveland.
Kronitz.
Kronos.
Kronitz. Do you remember, Ann, who was your best friend in school?
Sally Geipel,
Sally Geipel?
who's deceased now. But the only nickname she had is every now and then, Mr. Human always had a way of calling people by dragging out the name. And so Sally, I would call her sometimes.
So, Vern, who is your best friend?
Probably Rich Howe.
Rich Hauk. Rich Hauk. Okay. Real good. Okay.
Before we move to the next topic, the camera needs a new battery.
Okay. We're going to end in about 4 or 5. Yep. Okay. I tried to give a variety of questions. Are there any questions as we wind up that I should have asked that you want to say in order for you to share memories of the old schools with people in the future? Anything miscellaneous that you want to mention?
Question, like when my grandmother went to school there, I assume it was in the church building, not in a school building. So here you have old school, 1949. Was there a school building before that, or was it always in the church?
This was built in 1901, I believe. Their second, maybe 1900, their second congregational meeting, they agreed to build the school. And so, does anybody know that? Did this used to be a one-room school at first, and they built onto it?
I don't know, but I thought they built it right away in like 1899. So
They started it in October.
But I wonder if it was, see, because that's important. From this is 1905, but you can't tell this is about that, but here, I'll have to look in the congregational records to see if it was in the shape of a T, 2 rooms or just one. That I don't know.
And I don't think John Beers was paved in that picture.
No.
Because I've seen some other ones where I don't think it was paved.
No, it wasn't. Okay. All right, folks, we're at the end of our presentation. I want you to know that your memories will be preserved for the next time this is historically taught. When I'm not around anymore to teach, somebody else is going to have first-hand information, and that's all because of you. Give yourselves a good hand. Now, the last thing, if you have any pictures to share, not necessarily today, though Lillian has some, bring the pictures to church. I'll put them through my scanner, and then I'll be able to archive those pictures if you're willing to share them. Okay?
Well, I will give you mine to do, but I'm having family down tomorrow, and I would like them to see this book. Because this book was in Texas. My daughter just brought this up here.
You take it, unless I could do it, it'd take me 3 minutes here right now, or we'll get together later. Yeah.
I just wondered if you're gonna put it on YouTube, what we did, the videotape, or Facebook for the church, or?
I'll see if I could get it edited for Facebook, one of the two. I'll try.
Okay, let us know.
Joyce.
Okay, thank you for coming, everybody.
Thank you for having me.
You're more than welcome.